Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. Today is our Patron's Choice Day, so we're going to be listening to Deep Purple, Child in Time, for the first time. And this will be my absolute first time hearing Deep Purple, which I'm very excited about because Deep Purple shares in common with one of my favorite singers, Dio, Richie Blackmore, the amazing guitarist. So I'm very, very curious to hear him in another band. And I also am looking forward to hearing Ian Gillan, their lead vocalist. Now, Deep Purple I've heard about. They're considered one of the big three, I believe, in British heavy metal. And this particular song was written in protest of the US-Vietnam War. And in addition to that, a number of people talk about this being their favorite song from Deep Purple. So I think it sounds like a great introduction. Let's get to it. Little FYI, this song is taken from a live performance in the 70s. I think it was 1970 specifically. I love it when I get videos of live performances. I think that's especially exciting. And I'm digging this electric organ here. It's fun. Organs are always fun because you tend to have multiple keyboards, essentially, that you can play on. And they have a different touch than a piano. So I think a lot of people think, oh, if you can play the piano, you can play the organ. And there are things that are in common, but it's not all the same. The biggest difference is usually that there's footwork, not just a couple of pedals you hold down, like as in the case of a piano, but in an organ, you often need specific shoes because you have an entire additional keyboard for your feet to play. So that's really fun. And then it is a little bit awkward on different having your hands kind of at different levels. Some organs have like tons of levels. This one only has two. But just the feel of the keys is also usually a bit different. They're usually a little bit more difficult to press down. So anyhow, I really liked the way he had some sustained notes in there that were dissonant. So that requires, the finger to really hold something down while another thing is playing and working. Organs are fascinating. I could talk all day about organs and we wouldn't even get to voice. Okay, let's keep going.
Sweet child in time, you'll see the line that's drawn between the good and the bad. See the blind man, yeah, he's shooting at the world, bullets flying, taking toll.
This is a beautiful, clean sound. Ian's voice, it just has a way to cut immediately through the message. It has a simplicity in it that feels extremely honest at the same time. And I like the way he's very specific about his pitch. And then every now and then we'll do something to silent, like with just a little bit of a bend in there. I want to go back and listen to that entrance for him. Is this here?
Drawn between time.
Oops. Here we go.
Sweet child in time, you'll see the line that's drawn between the good and the bad.
And it's beautiful production as well, and how his vocal folds essentially are functioning here. I hear a lot of lightness in the overall mechanism, so I would think that there's more CT or cricothyroid engagement. And I love he's not taking up a ton of weight here. It's very delicate, but it feels like it's in that sweet spot, which makes sense since he just sang Sweet Child of Time. But even when he goes down, he's not really sinking into the low sound. He very carefully touches on it, which makes it feel a little bit more heartbreaking to me. So I liked that choice.
See the blind man, yeah, he's shooting at the world, bullets flying, oh, taking toll.
Wow. Oh, those are heavy lyrics. I really liked the way he highlighted the word shooting, and I think he wrote the lyrics and melody for him to sing as well. I believe so. When he went up to shooting, it was so cool how he flipped into his falsetto there. That's a great use of falsetto as an expression to bring more emotion into it. It was really, really gorgeous. We'll keep going.
If you feel bad, Lord, I bet you have, and you've not been here, you've not been hit by flying lead. You'd better close your eyes, you'd better bow your head. Wait for the ricochet.
Ooh. So as he's gone along, this crescendo has felt nice. It felt like he added essentially more power into the voice without necessarily taking up a whole bunch of thickness or weight. He's adding more power, so a little bit more TA engagement there. But doing it in a smart way that doesn't make the pitch sag at all. He's just really staying there. He's very specific about pitch. It's lovely. And I really adore on Wait for the Ricochet. I think that was the rhythm. It sounded like it had maybe a syncopated rhythm. And instead of keeping this lovely line that he's had the whole time where you really hear the sound continuing as he's going through, he snaps it off, which makes sense with the ricochet. Sounds like it bouncing back and forth. One more time on that. Yeah, that's a cool element.
I'm crying for you day and night.
That was gorgeous. I loved that switch into falsetto. He has got a really pristine falsetto sound, and it sounds like crying, which I think is how he really intends to use it there. That was so gorgeous. I just want to hear it again. It was really pretty, and it's so not strained. It's just almost sounds easy. Haunting.
I'm crying for you day and night.
Whoa. I greatly appreciate this range of emotion and how he's putting it into sound here. Oohs, because they're a darker vowel, a more haunting vowel in general. They're going to feel a little more like an inner sad weeping, and ahs, or even he's doing more ah. He gets brighter with an ah vowel that's more ah. And that sound is, it tends to be more brighter more bright than an oo. And so it's going to sound a little more painful quite often. I like the way that it went from sadness, or like more of an inner expression of it, to more of an outer expression. I love that he switched to this, the vowel, to increase that pain and the perception. It's very, very emotional. And I don't know if that's something that he thought about doing as like, oh, this technique will make my voice sound like it's going through a progression. I think he probably felt it, and it felt like the right thing to do. But it's really fun to know, scientifically what those waveforms look like and how they might possibly correspond to different emotions. I think that's really cool. On top of that, he added in a little bit of fry scream, which is great. That is exactly the kind of expression that I feel like is going to add to that pain. I'm going to go back and listen to that just a little more. He even has a little yodel in there for a moment, but it's not like a happy chippy yodel, but it sounds like almost like a pleading, desperate kind of yodel. That was cool. Right there again. Oh man, wow, that's even higher than I expected. He's going up to an A5. He's going up to an A5 with that. He's still in the falsetto there, adding some of that fry as well. I didn't think he was going to take it up another pitch there. I really didn't. So it seemed like, oh, he's going to somehow heighten this. It feels like it's going to grow still. And you know what? We're not even halfway through the song yet. But that jump was, that was surprising. I didn't expect his voice to be able to do that. That's high. He sounds like an incredibly well-trained countertenor that decided to go do rock. It's very, very cool. Whew. Right. Love the break into the bottom right there too. I feel like that would create some wrist tension. And also it looked like he was playing 4 notes at the same time, so you can't really have as much, you can't really switch between fingers. You know, if a pianist is playing just one note, often they'll go through different fingers as they're going. This was chords, rapid, massive respect, man. Beautiful keyboard technique. Oh. Love the switch in tempo here. I feel like we're moving into new movement. I like it when songs evolve. Cool. Okay. For many of your sakes, I decided not to pause during a big portion of that solo. Wanted to get that feeling for it overall, but let's talk about it a lot more now. I have to say, I always get excited when I see people mouthing as they're working on things on guitar. Love the way it sounds like he's making the guitar sing. He has an idea of what that sound would be like if it was coming out of his mouth, and then he channels that into his guitar, and that's so cool. It makes it become even more expressive, I think. I really, really dig that. I particularly loved the way that tempo sped up and just had this essentially a cello rondo, meaning that it had a gradual speed up, and it just kept going and going and going. It was very exciting, very, very exciting. I also really like the way that his solos often are based in patterns that he'll do in different places and then maybe switch up a little bit. And then every now and then he'll throw a surprise in there, or like just really fun ear candy where he'll go all over, or you get, there was a fun shot in there too of him just going between a couple notes at one point. It was very cool. Anyhow, I really, really dig his soloing. Let's catch the end. And I paused during a solo. Oh no. But here's the thing. That figure right there, I feel like was taken from / inspired by is the correct phrase, Flight of the Bumblebee, which is extremely hard to play on the piano. But you saw how the different fingers I was talking about, really fast sort of reattacks on the piano before. This is really close together, so you can see how his fingers are moving very separate. But if you were to move on one note, he would do the same thing. Let's go back just a little bit here. See if you can catch that like Flight of the Bumblebee moment. I love that. Whoa.
Sweet child.
That was fantastic. He's just, his fingers are very accurate. It's hard to be that accurate in timing, especially with a little more pressure that's needed in the organ. That was cool. Oh, let's go back a little more. Cool.
Sweet child, in time you'll see the line that's drawn between the good and the bad. See the blind man, yeah, he is shooting at the world, bullets flying, oh, they're taking toll.
I appreciate that they're bookending this. Right, this is the same melody and words we were hearing earlier, and to me, it's one of the parts of the song that I could feel like I could sing along with the most. And a lot of the song I feel like is expressing like very explosive emotions at time, but this one, because it feels so sad, so inner, it really, I feel like it pulls my heartstrings extra. And I feel like that's where the meat of their message is happening. So I'm very happy that they've returned to it. And I like listening to his voice. His voice is just, it's really pretty. It feels really well produced, really well balanced in the sound. The vibrato felt balanced in it. There's so much wonderful ease in it. So let's go back a little bit.
Shooting at the world,
and that falsetto flip is fantastic.
bullets flying, oh, they're taking toll. If you've been bad, Lord, I bet you have. And you've not been hit by flying lead. You better close your eyes. You better bow your head.
So on bow, he goes flat purposefully on the pitch to create a sense of like more leaning, more emotion in it as well. And because of how specific he is with pitch, that's what he's done there. He's being very, very, very accurate.
Wait for the ricochet.
That seems very, very Dio to me. He's singing through the teeth. It's not a specific vowel there. It's like, wow, he's using some teeth in there. It's kind of approximating towards M at one point. That's a cool sound. It feels very real, very, very transparent. Oh man, that had some growls in the lower part there too. That was good. I just want to say that this really reminds me of Rob Halford in the top end right now. Here are some interesting similarities up there. Wow. When you're singing really high and it sounds like he's got a little more pressure in there, it almost, because he's creating a more strong sound with falsetto, sometimes we'll call that reinforced falsetto. And with that and some fry, so it's likely that he has a little bit more pressure buildup underneath the larynx at this point. Often when that happens, we see a little bit of degradation in the lower notes. So if you go from up really, really high down to a low note, it's not degradation as much as like needing to adjust differently, because you start to see natural swelling that's happening in the larynx, just like a little bit, but a little bit can cause a note to feel different. And so when a person returns to a low note, they have to renegotiate what that feels like after all of those high notes. And I don't hear any of that negotiation happening real time. It sounds like he's really practiced it. He knows where that sweet spot is going to be when he comes back down. And I appreciate that greatly. Let's go back to that moment. Man. That was fun. What was that? This little scatting moment it's cracking me up because it sounds like a bow wow 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 wow. It sounds kind of like a dog moaning, which actually he might have been going for, because the sound of an animal crying is something that really gets humans in the heart too.
Three times I tried to be with you. The first time you didn't want to know. The second time
That ending was insane.
Three times I tried to be with you. The first time, you didn't want to know. The second time, you didn't even right. And the third time, I blew my mind all against the wall. Ow!
Whoa. I'm going to go back a little bit again and listen to that one more time. But there's so many things that are happening in this ending to have this sudden build and climax. That is intense. The notes get faster at one point. We have a build in the rhythm. There's also a lot of chromatics happening and slides happening. And I think it's fascinating that he's chosen to speak this part. Often we associate singing as being something that is a higher level of energy than speech. But in this case, the speech is a very good thing for him to go to, especially because he has he can have more strength, but in here he puts more strength into the speaking than he has in many other places of his singing in the song so far. And then of course the high scream at the end, that makes total sense to put as your main capstone. Also, it is something different. Like, how do you level up after this huge range of voice that he's shown? And it's fascinating to me that the leveling up is the speaking. Let's go back a little bit again. Oh my gosh, this is great.
All against the wall.
Whoa. Wow. Wow. That was an enthralling performance from beginning to end. I was very impressed by the technical capabilities of everybody in the band. I appreciated the solos a lot. Major shout out to John Lord, the keyboardist, who passed away in 2012. Just great fingering technique. And Richie Blackmore, of course. Woo! That was good. That was a very, very awesome section there. And I really liked the other Ian's usage of the drums as well. I like the way he was sometimes using cymbals to create atmosphere. So I feel like he used that in a very cool way. And all together, they were able to fluctuate in tempos and stay together nicely. Really good synergy between band members. Vocally, I loved the huge range that was demonstrated. Not just pitch range, but also expression range. It was a journey to go on. And it's always better when you get to the end of the song and you feel like you've learned something or you've somehow evolved. And I felt that definitely happened. Beautiful lyrics as well. Wow, really great song. Obviously, there's way more to digest in it than I can get to in a first sitting. So to all of our wonderful patrons, thank you so much. This was an awesome recommendation. Very excited to have finally heard Deep Purple for the first time. So thank you. And I hope that you and all of our other community members will continue to make recommendations. You can do that in the YouTube comments below this video. We track those and we watch what you want. So do please make recommendations below. And you can also find us on Patreon and at thecharismaticvoice.com. But before we go, I do want to remind you, we have a party coming up. This is going to be our 500K party. And it's going to be happening on July 31st at 11 a.m. So that is a Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. And you can come and join us and have a chance to win a bunch of prizes. We're going to be sponsored by Sweetwater, and they're supplying some awesome musical gear. So if you're interested, make sure you attend. We'll also be doing fun games, releasing new special videos. So it's going to be a great time. I hope that you'll join us in our celebration. And if you do want to, make sure that you hit subscribe, turn on notifications on the channel. We'll be posting a lot about that in the community forum as well. So hope to see you all somewhere soon. Bye.